show. Gas Network presents sports for the culture.
I'm here with the family.
Bryce, XXV, Double I,
Rome,
D-Malo,
Gruff Lion.
T-Boogie, man.
Just the greatest sports show on the planet. La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back, man, after the 2-week hiatus, the holidays, man, Christmas and New Year's. It is your favorite sports show. Gas presents sports for the culture. I'm tonight's host, Young Rome 22 on all socials, as always. We got a lot to get into. We're having a very spirited conversation backstage, so we're going to continue that. But I'm going to let the fellas introduce themselves first, and I'm going to start with I got to start with my guy with the Commander's hat.
Yes, sir. At Bryce, XXV, Double I. Shout out to my Commanders, 12-5. We in the playoffs, baby. Yeah, don't look too salty, G. Put a smile on your face, man. Come on, there, come on. But yeah, man, we in the playoffs. It's a good feeling, ain't it, wrong?
Oh, it's a great feeling, especially considering the fact that our teams are the only teams in the playoffs. So I don't know how you hating from outside of the club. You can't even get in.
Time to make a run, bro. Time to make a run.
Next, man, I'm gonna kick it to the 49ers fan. You know, your squad was in the offs last year. You've been a little depressed this season each time we start the show, but football season's over, so I'm for you. I'm hoping you're in a little bit better mood. Let the people know how you feeling.
Hey, T-Boogie, man, wipe your hands. Wash your hands, wash your hands. I couldn't even...
Coming out with the wipe your ass first is crazy, yo.
Yo.
Hey, look.
Yo.
Hey, listen, man. I'm in the best of spirits. Like this is the first time I've had a full off season since COVID. First time I got to sit around and scout and watch YouTubes and watch tapes and some of the stuff that y'all do seasonally. This is my first experience in a while, so. I'm just trying to take it all in. I'm on YouTube watching tape. I'm enjoying it. We got the 11th pick. I'm doing a lot of hypotheticals. Everything's best case scenario this time of year. So right now it's looking like we on the right track.
Hey, I'm not even gonna hold you, T. I'm so used to doing those things this time of year. I started looking at draft picks and shit too, just because like typically that's where we at. But this year we're in the off, so it's a little different. I'm gonna kick it. Speaking of draft picks, man, I'm gonna kick it to a team that played themselves out of the first draft pick. What are they? Third pick now? Fourth pick? I'm not sure. Hopefully there's still a QB around for G, so he don't got the bag on his head next year. Let the people know how you feeling, man. Now that your season is over.
I just want to thank the Philadelphia Eagles for not letting Saquon get the record on us, and then for still giving us a top 3 pick. So even if we don't get a quarterback, we're gonna get a Heisman nonetheless. So I'm not mad. You gotta see, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta look at life, the glass half full and half empty. And next year we might get a Manning back at the quarterback position. You just don't know. Just don't know. And I'm not mad. I'm kind of happy. So imagine Neighbors, Hunter, and a Manning in the backfield. Thank you, Philly. It's just good times. It's just good times up here in New York.
Gee, you smoking that shit, bro. You a little too hopeful.
Hey,
Come on now.
hey. What is it? $1 in a dream?
Look, I'm gonna let you have your dream, man. I'm not here to pop no bubbles tonight. Congrats on whatever fantasy you think the Giants might be on, whatever fantasy pack. But look, we got a lot of topics to get into here, from the playoffs to the lawsuit at FS1 with Joy Taylor and Skip Bayless. We want to touch on that. Fellas, what do y'all want to start first? We were talking about that in the backstage, man. Maybe we should keep that going. For the people that may not have heard, there was a lawsuit filed, I believe, against Skip Bayless specifically. But the other stuff in the lawsuit was not too good for the other folks that work at FS1, including one Joy Taylor, who kind of got dragged through the mud in this whole thing. I want to know, it brought up this whole topic about, all this kind of stuff in the workplace, sex in the workplace, and all those kind of things. So I want to kind of touch base with y'all and get y'all thoughts on one, the lawsuit in general, or with Skip Bayless and everybody, and two, what does this do for Joy Taylor and women, female journalists trying to do sports in general? Jump on.
Well, I don't want to be. I'm Mr. Ignorant here. I'm gonna let you scholars go first, and I'll be ignorant last. I hold on to the juice. I hold on to my ignorance just a little bit.
All right. I jump in first, man. One, this does kind of set the journalism back, specifically for women, knowing that she basically just substantiated a bunch of stereotypes and rumors that, what I'm saying, like the pretty chick comes in, sleeps her way to the top, and the chick that works hard gets overlooked. And maybe that's what happened. I don't really watch Joy Taylor too much, but people seem to like her. Maybe she's actually talented too. Maybe she would have got there on her own. Maybe she did. These are still rumors. But at the end of the day, if she did sleep with her co-host, I'm cool with that. Happens in offices every day. Happens in businesses every day. Happens in workplaces every day. If she slept with her boss, no sweat off my back. Listen, man, sometimes it's a saying. You got to use what you got to get what you want. And, if that's what she did, I'm not mad at it, because a lot of times we hear about women getting overlooked. We hear about women getting taken advantage of, things like that in the workplace. The Harvey Weinsteins and the things like that. From at least from that lawsuit, seemed like they was both having a good time. She was in on, like, look, she was 10 toes down. She was gonna blackmail my man with a sexual assault allegation just to balance the scale a little bit. It's crazy work, but like, hey, when you roll in the mud, you get dirty. So if that's how I went for bro, that's how I was gonna go for him. He shouldn't have been. And we talked about this a little bit before the show, but as a boss, as a manager, as somebody in upper management, you can't sleep with the people at the bottom. Like, let's say hypothetically, right? You flirt with her, you sleep with her, and you don't intend on promoting her. No pun intended, but she has you by the balls. Because now she can really go to HR and say, hey, look what this guy's doing. So she could, I don't know if she made it by crook or by book to the top, but I'm not mad at it.
I don't know if she made it by crook or by book or by cans, but she made it one of those ways. All right. I think I can't really be mad at anybody involved, right? I'm not mad at Joy Taylor. I'm not mad at the boss at the top. I mean, how could you be, right? Like, I think, that was a great line, man. Use what you want to get what you can, right? Or use what you have to get what you want, however you want to put it. I think that's a golden line, right? But the third line that should be added to that is live with the consequences. I think that's what people are not thinking when they're in these positions, right? For instance, let's take let's look at both roles real quick. Let's look at Joy Taylor's position here, right? She is the person that allegedly, we don't even know if this stuff is true, but allegedly slept with her boss, allegedly slept with a future co-host, so it could be slept with someone so they could become a co-host, right? She could become a co-host. Okay. First, let's think about what that does to like people that are working hard and busting their ass in that same position. It definitely sets them back, right? And it also puts that stigma on someone like Amina Kimes, who we all have respect for. We all respect her takes. Now we're looking at her with the side eye, like, wait, is it the takes or is it the cans? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna make you have to ask that question. Unfortunately, you have to. A lot of people will be asking that question now. On top of that, I think morality comes into play a little bit here, right? Whenever like sex is exchanged for money, there's a specific name for that. You know what I mean? I don't care how you get to the money, right? Like, I don't care if like it was a salary, you know what I'm saying? You did it for a salary, or you still did it for money, you know what I'm saying? And I think that when we look at it from that lens, then we cannot put any negativity on other folks that are doing the same thing in a different way. Like, if you can't be on Joy Taylor's side in this and be mad at any of the OnlyFans models, all right? You can't be mad. You can't be on Joy Taylor's side in this and be mad at anybody on Pornhub. All right, you got to be cool with all of that. Like, to T's point, if you're rolling around the mud, you're gonna get messy. And I'm not sure if Joy Taylor was actually rolling around the mud. This is allegedly, but unfortunately, she now has to live with these consequences. And the worst part about living with those consequences is that follows you, right? So like every job Joy Taylor gets, it's gonna be a dude at the top thinking, she down, right? And that's unfortunate, man. That's probably the most unfortunate part for her career. If she's talented, she'll bounce back though, because you can't hide talent. But I think one of the funniest things to come out of all of this has been Jason Whitlock's commentary, man. Like Jason Whitlock's
peanut butter skin,
bro. Peanut butter skin is crazy. Like I've heard skin referred to in so many ways. Like I've heard skin called caramel. You know what I'm saying? I've heard chocolate. I've heard a few other things, bro. But one thing I have never heard is peanut butter skin, bro. Like that shit is crazy to me.
Hey, so shout out to everybody in the comments, man. First off, D Money, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Joy Taylor. I enjoy your takes, man. If I'm being all the way honest, I don't like the new show that she's got where she's hosting with Keyshawn and Paul Pierce, which honestly, now that all this came out, seeing her with Paul Pierce when we know what Paul Pierce does in his spare time, that's a crazy look. FS1 had everybody on TV today like this lawsuit never even dropped. I mean, they kind of just playing in everybody's face with that. But as far as, the stuff with Sam Acho and I forget the name of the boss and all that, but like to me, one, we don't even know if all this is true. Like y'all said, this is all alleged as of now. But even if it is true, it's all very private. One, and I don't like, to Bryce's point, is there some morality issues here? Yes, but I think the morality comes in when the part that nobody seems to want to talk about too much is Joy was married when all this went down. She got divorced according to this lawsuit because of these things. Her husband found out, divorced her because of these things. Now, just to play devil's advocate, if we put the shoe on the other foot and it was a male who slept with a coworker and got divorced because of it, you know what I'm saying? I don't think they'd be on TV the next day. I think they'd be suspended. Matter of fact, I think what was it, the Celtics coach? Didn't somebody lose their job for an alleged affair, something like that? So these things are not to be taken lightly. FS1 did release a statement saying as much, but then today they had all these people on TV seemingly taking it lightly. So again, maybe none of it's true. The part about Skip Bayless and the $1.5 million for the hairstylist, to me that seems a little far-fetched. $1.5 million. I mean, I don't know how much it costs. I've never had to pay for these type of things, but $1.5 million sounds a little pricey. That's all. You know what I mean? Like maybe you need to go get the great value, the great value version if it's going for 1.5.
Not taking $1.5 million. Let's just say it's true, right? Turning down $1.5 million is a lot more egregious than Joy Taylor sleeping with the boss.
Come on, dog.
Nah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Okay. Wait. Why? I gotta hear why you don't disagree too, Ron. But like, why is that? Wait,
how much do you get for this lawsuit? This lawsuit better be more than 1.5. Then.
So whoever offers you 1.5,
now hear me out.
To sleep with you, you supposed to just go. You supposed to just be on go mode no matter what.
I'm gonna tell you why it's egregious.
What if Shorty was married? What if she was married the same way Joy was supposed to be?
Don't matter.
Still take that one.
Yes. I'm gonna tell you why it's egregious. So when did this lawsuit come out? After this chick no longer had her job, right? And she alleges that this stuff happened during her tenure there. So you mean to tell me everything's cool during your tenure? There's no reason to blow the whistle. I'm gonna just keep working. And now I'm suing after I don't have the job.
Nah, that's dangerous, bro. Because that's literally how every lawsuit goes. And there's always somebody saying that exact when the Cassie lawsuit came out, that was a question, right? So I feel you.
Nah, but the Cassie one what made it egregious when you saw the beatdown video.
No, I'm talking about the fact that like why did someone take so long? It was all good when you was in it, but then now you out of it, you making the lawsuit. Like that's
check me out.
Cassie
took the 1.5 and sued. She did both. So what are we talking about here?
She did make a smart move. But I'm talking about as far as just like, hey, it was good when you was there, But now that you're gone, like you mad, like
All right. How about this? Right. Shoot out a foot. Let's say you go to work tomorrow, you get sexually assaulted. Are you going to HR after you get fired? You got sexually assaulted by a man. Are you going to HR?
Hey, ain't no man better. Hey.
Listen. I'm adding perspective to it, right? Because right is right, wrong is wrong. So if you are done wrong in your workplace, what is the line for you to say, I'm saying something right now, or I'm gonna wait till things go south?
Well, why would you wait? The fuck?
Oh, so you're on my side.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why she waited so long. If that's the case,
because you know why people wait though. In that case, yeah, that's T took the extremist case of all extreme. Right? But you know why people wait, G? You know why people wait, G? Because they gotta pay fucking bills, man. That's why people wait, bro. All right, like that's why people don't run to HR and go get their ass fired off the rip, bro. Like, come on, what we talking about, man? So I get it. I get your take, T. Like in a perfect world, you should blow the whistle as soon as possible. But we know that's not the world we live in, man. And typically, when these type of lawsuits come out, someone always stayed too long, bro.
So, question. So why did Shorty like outed this Taylor for?
Well, that's the other thing, and you know, I started doing a bit of a dive into the lawsuit because I'm like, something's not seeming right, bro. And the fact, two things stood out to me, bro. We all know who the wildest boy on the FS1 cast was, right? When it comes to making jokes, lewd comments, suggestive comments. Do I got to say his name? Right, Shannon Sharp, bro. We all know that FS1 run, he was saying all sorts of crazy shit. As soon as he got on ESPN, he couldn't even hold his tongue. He was so used to saying the crazy shit. He let something slip out as soon as he got to ESPN, right? I think it was like, what did he say on that College Game Day? He was like, I don't know. He said something crazy. I'm going to find the clip and send it to the group chat. But my point is, Shannon Sharp not mentioning the whole lawsuit made me go like this. So you was there all that time and Shannon never said nothing crazy? The other thing that stood out to me is there was a line in the lawsuit where she mentions Colin Cowherd and says like, Colin Cowherd was always great to me. Like if I'm submitting a defamation lawsuit, right, my lawyer's probably not going to tell me to like, hey, make sure you mention who was nice to you. Because there's literally no need for that. You know what I'm saying? So simply those people that were mentioned, right? That they were nice to you, like a Shannon or a Colin Cowherd. Then you find out that Shannon and Colin Cowherd are business partners. Starts to make you raise an eyebrow a little bit. Like, were they in on this? Is there, I don't know. I'm not trying to go too far down that rabbit hole. But it don't sound right.
It might be a situation of your lawyer telling you to do it so you don't just look like a disgruntled employee. You know what I'm saying? I can kind of see both sides of that.
Yeah, I see where you're going, T. So that way you don't sound like you're just complaining. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time,
you're making a lawsuit. You are just
when you read the lawsuit, and I do encourage everybody to check it out on their own and form their own opinion, because again, it's all alleged. It's not like anything has been proven. And I do think innocent until proven guilty. It could come out that Joy's innocent in all of this. Maybe she never did any of these things. But to me, the only issue I would take with any of this is that if this is what led to her divorce. That's unfortunate. Especially if that's how it's playing out now, for her ex-husband or whoever to have to sit and kind of go through all that again. That's not something that anybody would want to have to deal with. And then at the same time, if you're Joy, I'm sure that, true or not, you had to go on TV today. You got to go on TV tomorrow because that's your job. And I think that's a undersold thing in this whole thing when these people get scandals is like, if you still have to go present yourself in front of other people on a big screen and a big stage, that can't be easy. Even to the person that was doing her hair today, I'm sure if you're the new hairstylist, you in there like, oh, don't worry, I ain't got nothing crazy to say about you. Like, so hopefully we get some type of good resolution to this. Maybe if it is true, I hope whoever was affected gets what they need. I kind of don't believe it, so I hope it kind of just goes away.
I just want one last quote in this whole situation, right? You got a coworker that's sleeping to the top, and you ain't about to give it up. Everybody got one homegirl, that little loose, and a little cute. Go send that shit to your boss's way, man. That's a care package. That's what I call a care package. I know you're not trying. You know what I mean? If you ain't trying to bend over, go send a care package, man. It's not you like.
Hey, I got a question too.
That's
actually,
a gift. You call that Christmas giving. care package.
So Bryce, to your point earlier, right? And you made a solid point. Is there's a specific word for it when you have sex and you get money in exchange. But what if you have a female in the workplace who sleeps with her boss and she doesn't get a promotion, but she might get an extra day off? Now all of a sudden there's an extra sick day thrown in there. Like, what is that? Like, where are we drawing the line on those type of things? On what exactly is too much of a benefit?
You know what? That's not really for me to answer. I feel you though, and it's not really for me to answer that, right? Because like I don't know what too much of a benefit is, and I'm not even mad at Joy for getting the benefit for real.
Allegedly.
But allegedly. I'll say this though, my man Earl Watson dodged a bullet, right? Because like what is definitely too far is like if you're married, to your point, Rome, right? That's automatically too far. Or if you're engaged, or if you got somebody, or really if you just got. I don't know. I'm not trying to go into how people respect themselves. So I don't think that's totally fair. I almost went there, but that's not totally fair the more I think about it. I think you can have plenty of respect for yourself and do whatever the hell you want with your body, right? But I just think that we have to, we can't be like disgusted at one form of it and not be disgusted at another form of it, or we're opening ourselves up to, just a lack of morality. You know what I'm saying? Like we either disgusted at all of it or disgusted at none of it. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm cool with being disgusted at none of it, but I probably would take some umbrage if I seen somebody that's like disgusted at an OnlyFans model, but cool with Joy. It's like, what are we doing here? To me, it's on the same level. And maybe that's something I gotta,
No.
Nah, there's a line there, bruh. There's a line there.
There's a line between leveraging, yourself, your body, your actions versus degrading yourself. There's a line there, you know what I'm saying? And as my good man D Money can attest to, you know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of leveraging and a lot of degrading in the workplace.
So what is it? I guess that makes me ask, like, what does it mean to degrade yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you don't think this is degrading, like there's like she's more popular right now than probably 99.9% of the fans.
Again, this is all alleged, right? This is all alleged, but just judging by the tone and what was reported in that lawsuit, to me, it seems like this is something that Joy went into with her eyes open. This is something that she knew would give her a step up. This is not something she did out of survival. This is not something she did out of desperation. This is something she saw a path and enacted a game plan. You know what I'm saying? She said, "Oh, they expect they throw the blitz. We gonna throw the screen. We go into the house."
That's the same thing that OnlyFans models are saying. T.
I got a question.
Like the same way you blaming the boss, right, for ever sleeping with her. Like the OnlyFans models are blaming the guys for ever pulling out their debit cards. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's the same type of relationship. Like it's a different level, perhaps, though.
Even within OnlyFans, there's levels, right? Because there's people that make quality content, great cameras. You know what I'm saying? Subscriptions are
angles,
adequately priced, and then there are some people saying, to all my 200 followers, I'm having a Christmas sale for $3.50. There's levels, right? So if Joy was, let's say, a janitor sleeping with the boss to get an extra mop, to get an extra broom, to get a day off, that to me, that's a little degrading. But when you're talking about having your own show,
that's not degrading at all, huh?
No, because listen, even when you made the Earl Watson comment, it had me thinking, right? Because you can't tell who's a cheater by looking at them. Sometimes you can, but typically you can't tell who's a cheater. So they're kind of like landmines, right? If you happen to step on a landmine, you could lose your life or you could lose a limb. If your wife ends up with a TV show, you just lost a limb. You ain't lose your life. You know what I'm saying? Because she could have did the same thing with the janitor.
So basically what you're saying is, depending on how much money is coming from this, decides if it was a good or bad move.
I don't think he's meaning money. I think he's meaning opportunity.
Nah, he's breaking it down to money.
That's not the money. It's where you put, like, where the money's going to position you in life. So
how the money's going to bring you more money?
Yeah, like a TV show.
Okay, so it all right. So this all comes down to doing an act for money, and if it gets you a certain amount of money, y'all cool with it. It's like you ain't step on a landmine and kill yourself. You just blew off your arm. But if it's a little bit of money, you killed yourself. To me, you step on a landmine, you risk your life, bro. So either way, you risk your life. What are we talking about?
So at the end of the day, T is saying if you're doing it for a short term game, you're degrading yourself. You a hoe. If you're doing it for long term game, you're a smart, financial, savvy businesswoman.
All right, so on the flip side of that, the OnlyFans model that does the most despicable OnlyFans acts you could think of, right? And she charges the lowest price. She charges the $350 that T was talking about, but she's got 10 million dudes paying the $350, right? That's cool, right? That's not degrading, according to y'all's logic. She just came off with 30.5 M's. That's more money.
Yeah.
That's gonna set her up better than any FS1 show would. So cool. So that's not degrading, right? I just want to understand this.
Not to me.
If you want my personal
I respect that.
my personal take, bro, and the reason it's not degrading to me is because in either situation, I'm judging the buyer. If you're paying the $350 to watch the most disgusting lewd acts on OnlyFans, I'm looking at you. If you're, you know what I'm saying, like if you have a team. If you have a team of sports analysts, if there's a fire podcast, a hot podcast out called Sports for the Culture, and you'd rather sleep with whoever's got the biggest cans in the office instead of elevating sports, then that I'm looking at you. I'm not looking at the person who's getting elevated because they're working hard and they're attractive and they getting their way because they're attractive.
So to you, it's never degrading. I can respect that, bro.
Not on that person. The only person that is degrading themselves is the person that's paying money for that type of thing or giving favors for that type of thing. Because let's be honest, does Joy sleep does Joy sleep with this boss if he's not the boss? Allegedly, does she allegedly sleep with Sam Acho if he's not a host on the show?
But nobody's doing OnlyFans. They're not getting a check. You know what I'm saying? No one's gonna do OnlyFans for free. Well, I should take that back. I should take that back. We live in a crazy time.
All right.
If you're doing it for free, you are definitely degrading yourself. Okay, there's no question.
If you're doing anything without a benefit, you're degrading yourself.
Hey, listen, if I can see them cans on a website that doesn't have a paywall, you're wild. All right,
that's crazy.
For the love of the game.
For the love of the game.
For the love of the game. That's crazy. That's what you name this show tonight. For the love of the game.
All right, we will keep it pushing now though. For the love of the game, let's get into the NFL. Some of the topics that they should be discussing on FS1 as well. But let's start with the NFL playoffs, man. It's been a great NFL season. We touched on it in the open. In the NFC, we got the Commanders playing the Buccaneers this weekend. Eagles, Packers, and Vikings, Rams on Monday Night Football. But I want to start with the AFC because they're up first. So let's start with the Chargers-Texans game, man. We got that game going on Saturday. The over-under is set at 42.5, and the Chargers are favored by 2.5. What are y'all thoughts on both these teams' performance in the regular season, and who you taking this weekend? Jump on.
Oh, give me Houston, man, because they're still at home. The fact that they're not favored is crazy to me. I don't see why. They should get that kid that got suspended back, right?
I forgot his name. Algier.
Yeah, isn't he back by now?
He been suspended that long? For that
I think he was suspended for the rest of the regular season. I got to double check, but he should be returning.
There was some crazy shit that he got suspended for.
Yeah.
I like Houston, man. Houston at home. I think Houston will cover the 3. The over-under is at 42.5. I'll take the under on that.
Okay. Bryce, who you like in the Chargers-Texans game? And G, I know you be hating on my man Justin Herbert, but I'll get to that in a second.
Man, he a bitch. And his mama a bitch. And his coach a bitch.
That's crazy. Justin Herbert's a dog.
Now y'all divided. Oh, y'all.
No, I always rock with Herbert, but I'll say this,
man. Check the tape.
Bro, find me something saying crazy about Justin Herbert.
Check the tape.
Find it. Find me something saying something crazy about Herbert, and I'll give it to you. But give me Definitely pause. Give me the Chargers all day in this one, bro. CJ Stroud's arrow has been trending down to me, bro. Ever since he cried on the sideline, dog. I'm sorry. I know.
Yeah, he was killing that man in the group chat for that.
Bruh, you know that disappointed me, bruh. Because CJ Stroud was low-key one of those guys I was really, really starting to root for. And you know, the game after was the game after he cried. The game after he had his cry game. They put up like 2 points, bruh. And I said it in the group chat at the time, bro. I'm like, if you the quarterback, like the last thing you can do is fucking cry, bro. If you're the quarterback or the coach, the last thing you can ever do is like have your emotions waver, bro. You got to be able to stay a certain level, have a certain level-headedness, because people are following you whether you realize or not, right? Your energy has a large hold over the rest of the team. And I think ever since that's happened, in my opinion, the team lost something. Not to mention that they're down, you know, 2 of their 3 best weapons, right? Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, both gone for the season. Is Nico Collins back yet? He back?
So yeah, Nico's back. I think
it's going to be a whole lot of Nico, whole lot of Joe Mixon. I think that the Chargers come in with a style of football that ends up being a little too much for the Texans. Controlling the clock is the Chargers game, right? Harbaugh's kind of brought in this more of a hard-nosed mentality to a team that was used to kind of being a little too finesse, in my opinion. And I think that merger between that finesse and that hard-nose that Harbaugh brings is tough to beat. I've been impressed with the Chargers this year, especially considering it's the first year of a new regime. I think they get through the Texans in the first round on the road.
That's a good take. T, who you like, LA at Houston?
This is a tough one. Who does the winner of this game play?
That's a tough one because it's the 5th seed playing the 4th seed, so it's really going to be dependent on the other games. But most likely they'll play the 2nd seed, or well, really it depends on if the 2nd seed wins, which is Buffalo. So it's up in the air.
Okay.
What, the Ravens are in the 2nd seed?
Nah, Ravens are 3rd. I mean, Buffalo got Denver, so they'll probably get past Denver, right? Is the consensus. So I mean, this game they'll probably be playing they'll probably be playing Buffalo most likely.
Well, I can tell you I'd want to see the Texans play Buffalo, but I don't know, man. I feel like the Texans have not played up to their talent level and up to their potential. And I feel like the Chargers are overachieving, which in football is a recipe for truly any given Sunday. Ideally, you go with the team that has the momentum, right? The Chargers. But my heart is telling my football mind is telling me the Chargers roll the Texans. But my heart is telling me CJ makes some playoff magic. Herbert's no slouch, but that Chargers team, I don't know. Jim Harbaugh is up there overall somehow. He's a good coach, but I'm going to go, like I said, my football mind says Chargers, but I'm going to go with my heart this time. Give me CJ and D'Amico to get it done in a 1-possession game.
T, man, I'm going to tell you what Bryce just told me a couple minutes ago. Don't let your emotions waver, man. You got to go with your football mind. I'm going with your football mind on this one. It's going to be the Chargers, and they're going to roll the Houston Texans, man. The Texans are about to get embarrassed at home in their home playoff game. And I mean, no disrespect to CJ Stroud. Bryce already kind of disrespected the man for being emotional, but I'm not going to take it there because I think he had a pretty decent season. Was it as good as his rookie season? No. I also kind of think his rookie season was a little overhyped. And I think people put him on a little bit too much of a pedestal. The Texans did nothing to fix their O-line, which has been his main problem this whole season. I don't care how many weapons you got. Football comes down to if you can block and run the football, especially in the playoffs. It's going to come down to who has the better QB, who can run the ball, and who has a decent enough defense to actually get them through. And I think the Chargers check all those boxes, man. G loves to get on my man Justin Herbert. Hit me up in the group chat. Oh, look at your man Herbert. You went dark You went dark after you made that comeback. You were talking a lot of shit weeks ago on a Thursday night game. Herbert made his comeback, and you went dark. You never mentioned that shit again.
That
So
nigga
we'll
ass, man. And
we'll
listen,
see how
whoever
you
wins
feel
this
after
game
the Saturday
gotta go
game.
against the Chiefs. This will give you guys a heads up.
Hey, that's the matchup he wants.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Justin
now,
Herbert wants to smoke.
and if you're the Chiefs, who would you rather play, bro? Come on.
Both of those bums, because you smoking
Right.
both. You beat the Charger twice already.
Bro, stop, bro. If you're the Chiefs, you are begging that the Texans win.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No,
All
you're
right.
not.
No,
All right. We'll see. We'll see how it shakes
I was
out.
gonna
All
say,
right.
The
Let's
Chargers
jump.
can beat the Chiefs. The Texans have no chance against the Chiefs, bro. No chance.
Yeah,
Chargers
no.
have no chance against the Chiefs.
Bro, the Texans are not going to be able to score with the Chiefs, bro.
The
Like,
Chargers
the
haven't
Chargers
beaten
scoring
the
every week.
Chiefs.
All right.
Didn't we just see the Chiefs beat the Texans with little to no problem?
And they're gonna do the same thing what they did with the Chargers all season long.
We'll see when we get to it. Let me get everybody's thoughts on this game though. Denver at Buffalo. Like we all like Buffalo to win this one.
Hold on, you gonna forget about the other Saturday night game? The main
Nah,
event?
I'm just jumping to this one because it's gonna be quicker. I mean, we all like Buffalo to win this one. I think the spread is 8.5.
Yeah, but I think
Y'all like the spread in this?
I don't like Buffalo.
Give me Broncos to cover the spread though.
I was gonna say I don't think Buffalo just goes in there and blows his team out at all. I think I think Buffalo's another team that's been playing above their potential, above their talent level. I think they have a great quarterback, and I've said a couple times this is his Luka year. If you find a way to stop him or slow him down, hit him or something, get him hurt, anything, you win that game. I think Buffalo is way too dependent on one guy to go crazy far in this playoffs. But maybe he could just get hot, and this could be one of those years a guy gets hot. But I don't know, bro. I think Bo Nix and the Broncos aren't scared of Buffalo at all.
That's a fair take, but do you think the Broncos have enough to actually beat Buffalo?
I mean, they got Sutton, they got Bo. Their running game I'm not really fond of, but Bo can run the ball too. Bo can give you a little bit of what Josh gives you. So they're probably you take a smart money takes Buffalo. I'm taking Buffalo, right? But I'm not touching the points.
Bryce,
what you think about this one? You giving the Broncos a fighting chance?
Hell nah. What are you talking about, bro? No, I'm not giving them a fighting chance until 3 minutes left in the third quarter. You know what I'm saying? This game is going to be won by about 12, 13 points by Buffalo, bro. In my opinion. Mainly because, like, all right, Denver's weapons, bro, who we fearing? I get you mentioned Courtland Sutton. I've always liked Courtland Sutton, but, you know, I don't think Buffalo is, like, going to the game. Like, we got to circle Courtland Sutton. Like, nah, they're not really worried about him. T made a point that, like, you know, there's no team as dependent on their quarterback or on one person as Buffalo. Bro, every team that has a top 4 quarterback, I could say that about. You know what I'm saying? Every team that has a top 4 quarterback is fully dependent on their quarterback, bro. And that includes the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, even though they got Derrick Henry. They still fully dependent on Lamar Jackson, bro. So I can't really buy that argument. Yeah, so I agree with you, T. You hurt any of those quarterbacks, that team loses. That damn near goes for any team in the playoffs. You enter their quarterback, they lose. Except maybe the Eagles, who have already shown they can win with the backup, but I don't even know who Buffalo's backup is. I saw what Carson Wentz can do.
Trubisky.
Carson Wentz is doing little to nothing. I saw the Chiefs backup, right? So any of these quarterbacks go down, that happens. I think that Buffalo is one of those teams, right? And I do like what you said about the Luka year. I would liken it more to like the Celtics, though, right? Buffalo's a team that's been like, they've been scratching at the door, bro. They've been at the doorstep for about, 5 seasons now. We've seen them lose in every fashion you can in the playoffs. And most of the time it's dramatic. We all remember that one Bills-Chiefs game, right? That's the same team. That Buffalo team is they're a live dog, man. They're not about to be playing with Denver. Now, can Denver come out and have a good game? I do think they're capable. I believe in Sean Payton as a coach, although I hate him as a person. I do believe in him as a coach. And what he's proven to me, the way he beat my ass on the spread this year. I was going against the Broncos every week, and they just kept beating me on the spread. So I got it beating me on the spread, G.
And what you said before that, how he's been beating you on your what? Okay.
I got to start putting the number of the spread, the 3.5 point spread.
Nah, but like how he worded himself was super close.
You got it. Listen.
He ain't gonna walk by that one.
Give me the Bills, and I think the Bills win this game big, bro. I don't think the Broncos are able to hang in with the Bills. I think Bo Nix's magic starts to run out. I don't think I've been as impressed with Bo Nix as others have, but that could be me just hating because I got the other rookie quarterback. I think the Bills win this pretty easily. I wouldn't say blowout, but I'd say about 13, 14 points.
Yeah, I think Bo Nix is a solid quarterback. I think he has been in running for the rookie of the year. I think it's obviously Jaden Daniels as well. We've talked about that before, though, but I think to everybody's point, the Broncos are a decent team. They'll probably, look decent in this game, but there's no way in hell the Buffalo Bills are going to lose in the first round of the playoffs to the Denver Broncos at home. That's zero chance. I do think they end up covering. I think even if the game is close, they pull away at the end, of Bryce's point. Look, Buffalo has been knocking at the door, like Bryce said as well, but that's kind of the MO of this team. I don't think they go the distance, but I think they get out the first round. So let's jump to the other side of the game, like G said, because I don't want to spend too much time on that one. But I do want to talk about this one because we got the Steelers at the Ravens for the third time this season. They split earlier this year. Lamar is having his MV3 year. We're going to talk about MVP here in a little bit too. But Lamar historically is terrible against the Steelers, which is in the Steelers' favor for this playoff game. The over-under set at 43.5, and the spread is 9.5 Baltimore. The Steelers have looked pretty abysmal. I think that's kind of a crazy spread, though. G, man, what are you thinking on who wins this game? And are you taking the over or the under in this?
This is the first time in Mike Tomlin's history he hasn't won in the month of December, right?
Wow.
That's a crazy stat.
It's been 4 games in a row. I thought last week was 3 games was enough. I didn't see 4. 4 games, that's nuts. And to say 5 in a row, I don't want to go against him. Bryce has alluded to this. What has been 3 years was like, you do not doubt Mike Tomlin's team. You do not this time around. I'm sorry. I don't see the Ravens covering the spread just because I think what's the receiver for the Ravens that got hurt?
Pickens.
Yeah, no.
More Flowers.
Flowers.
What's the update on that?
He's not starting.
Damn.
He's not playing, period.
That's a killer.
Knee sprain.
That's a killer.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be a field goal game again. I give me the Ravens to win, but the 9.5 is ridiculous. Unless the bookies are seeing something we don't see, I can't take that 9.5.
Yeah,
the 9.5 is a little steep. T, man, you're the classic Lamar hater in the group. But who are you taking in this? Do you think they get out the first round?
It's got to be Ravens. It's got to be Lamar. Because if it's not, I don't want to hear about Lamar ever again, bro. Like if he gets bounced in an MVP, arguably his best season, arguably one of the best seasons a quarterback's ever had. If you get bounced in the first round of the playoffs to Russell Wilson, bro, I don't want to hear nothing. So for the sake of Lamar, I'm riding with the Ravens, and they're gonna beat the spread.
And you got them covering the spread.
I'm covering.
All right, Bryce, man, what are your thoughts on the Steelers Ravens, man? Who gets the dub?
Yeah, when we were first talking about the topics, I looked at the playoff bracket, and there were 2 games that I circled like as ones that really stood out to me. This was one of them, and if you listen to the show, you could probably predict what the other one will be. But this one is man, this is a tricky game, bro. Especially hearing that Zay Flowers isn't going to play, that hurts, bro. Zay Flowers is a huge part of that offense. My man came in late with the Joy Taylor talk, but that Zay Flowers is a huge part of their offense, man. And he's a dog, bro. Like he is like He's not on that Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson level, but explosivity, he's almost as explosive as them guys, man. And not too many players in the NFL with that level of explosiveness that Zay Flowers has shown me over his career. So missing him that's huge, bro. On the flip side, on the defense, they may miss Kyle Hamilton too. And if you miss both of those players, damn, those are two of the guys that brought you here, right? So I can't overlook that. Reason I circled this game as one that could get a little messy is one, like G said, I do believe in Mike Tomlin, but two, the format of the NFL playoff, the one and done format, lends itself to some wonky shit happening, right? And I think this is one of those games where it could happen, bro. I'm not saying I don't think the Steelers win. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Steelers cover. I'm taking the Ravens to win, but I wouldn't be shocked, bro. We're talking about a division matchup. These teams are going to be seeing each other for the third time, right? Sixth time in 2 years. These teams, no one knows each other better than these two teams, bro. And when you talk about that, and you talk about a team that's proven that they know how to contain Lamar better than everyone else, another team that can do it is the Browns for some reason, right? Maybe because they're in the division. But this team has proven they know how to – they have a Lamar game plan, right? They got something inside of their in-house that they have a game plan that seems to work. It seems to work better than most Lamar game plans. So I like T's point, bro. This is the one for Lamar to, like, put the team on his back, win the game. To me, if the Ravens can win this game, they make the Super Bowl, right? I got them as my Super Bowl pick if they win this. The game, bro. And those Zay Flowers, possibly no Kyle Hamilton, got me a little worried. This may be one of those games where I put it in a parlay, put a couple bucks on the Steelers to win, another underdog to win, just for the odds sake. But give me the Ravens by like 4 points.
All right, so it's pretty unanimous that the Ravens win with or without Zay Flowers, which it is looking like he's probably not going to play, like G said. But before we jump to the NFC, man, I want to touch on the MVP race because it's really just dwindling down to the two QBs in the AFC, and I want to get everybody's thoughts on that real quick. I mean, and if you got a third dark horse, feel free to throw him in. I know I got a third dark horse. But I think it's really between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson for the most part. If you had an MVP vote, who would you give it to and why? I'm gonna start with Bryce.
Damn, bro. Up until like a couple weeks ago, I was like Lamar, bro. But Josh Allen been doing some crazy things on the football field. I still lean Lamar because you break 900 rushing yards. That's too much to ignore, man. You know, 41 touchdowns with 900 rushing yards, 41 passing touchdowns and 900 rushing yards. That's crazy production for offense. Like insane production. So I go Lamar Jackson.
T, who gets your vote?
Should be Lamar Jackson, but for my money, I'm gonna give it to Josh Allen. This is his Steve Nash year.
His Embiid year.
Yeah, you know, there's voter fatigue, right? And one thing about it is, I don't care how special you are, when you're consistently special, for the most part, exceptions being like Jordan, Kobe, maybe LeBron, people get used to it, right? We're used to seeing Lamar break a run and make three guys miss, and it doesn't look as impressive as Josh Allen running around and running guys over, or throwing on a run and all sorts of stuff like that. But all the numbers say Lamar has been the better quarterback. Did he beat Josh Allen head to head?
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Oh, he did. He lost to Pat. But so, I mean, the numbers to me is a complete wash. It's Lamar. I don't understand how anyone's even talking about Josh Allen in this race. It's got to be voter fatigue, to T's point. My vote goes to Lamar. G, who would you give your vote to and why?
I'm just going to say here, Lamar Jackson is the MVP. He won me my fantasy chip, made me cash moolah. He was the reason why I got to the chip. He was a part of the reason why I was able to win it. He's been playing crazy. And the fact that we're sitting here and trying to give Josh Allen something, maybe last year he deserved it, but I guess the record didn't show that he deserved it. Because if we're going to say that, then I want to say this year Joe Burrow deserves the MVP because he balled out crazy since October. Look at Joe Burrow's passing numbers.
Make the playoff.
I think if he would have got that team to the
that's what I'm
playoffs, you could
saying.
make a
Like
case.
that's my initial argument. Because if we're just gonna looking for stats, because last year Josh Allen had the better stats, but they gave it to Lamar because of the record overall of the team, and that's huh?
Don't worry, they not giving Lamar a third.
I think you have to. I don't see why not. He has over 4,000 yards passing and over 800 yards rushing.
Yeah, he got mad.
What is
Yeah.
it? 3 interceptions and like 40 something tubs.
It would be egregious if he didn't win it. But that'll be an interesting conversation down the road for sure.
If he doesn't win his MVP,
the only argument I can see for Josh Allen is like, dog, like who's his top weapon, bro? Like to T's point, like he's doing it. Like he is the end all be all. And I think that I think Lamar is the same, but somebody could easily point to Derrick Henry. Then somebody like me would be like, well, Lamar did that same shit without Derrick Henry, right? So
exactly.
Not this year.
Like, if you're just looking at this year in a vacuum, one could say, like, who does Josh Allen have as supporting cast? Keon Coleman is a rookie, and that might be his best weapon for real.
But Zay Flowers wasn't a 1,000-yard receiver until this year. Last year, he only hit like 900 and something.
He was
right, but that could also be the Derrick Henry effect because now you got to tighten up on the run game. But look, Lamar's got bad numbers. Josh Allen has done it with little to no help. So it's in some people's mind it's a coin toss, but I think it should be Lamar, no question. But let's go ahead and jump to the NFC before we run out of time here. Shout out to Scruff in the comments. He said Lamar should be MVP, but Allen will probably get it. One person we definitely know is not MVP is Jalen Hurts. But let's talk about Jalen Hurts and the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles game this Sunday. The Packers are coming to Green Bay. I kind of wish Scruff was on today because he was a big proprietor of the Packers early on in the season, big Jordan Love guy. So I'm gonna be here to say it first for you, and I hope you're listening right now, Scruff. Jordan Love is gonna bounce your Philadelphia Eagles out of the playoffs in the first round.
Time out on that. He's hurt, elbow.
Jordan Love does have an elbow injury. Jalen Hurts has a concussion. I think. It's no shade. It's no shade. This is a belief. I think Jordan Love will play, and I think the Packers get it done and upset the Eagles at home. That's my take. I wanted to go first on that. But Eagles Packers, the over under is 45.5. Eagles are favorites by 4.5. So jump ball, who y'all got?
I got Eagles. Eagles gonna kill them, boys.
Even without Hurts?
I think Hurts plays, but even without Hurts, I think they beat them. Like, listen, the Eagles' strength is their defense in that secondary, and the strength of the Packers is their passing attack, and I think the Eagles have the advantage there. So I'm gonna go with the more well-rounded team, the team with more weapons, the team with more Pro Bowlers, the team that's more mature, older, and who's looked better all year. So this is an easy one for me, Eagles.
Ooh, for me, if Hurts doesn't play, give me Green Bay because Green Bay could win without a quarterback. They did it earlier in the season after game 2. They went on like a 2-win winning streak with old boy.
Malik Willis.
Yeah, Malik Willis won like 2 or 3 games. Yes, he did. He won games.
Listen, man, you're not gonna win a playoff game with Malik,
and you're not gonna win a game without Jalen Hurts.
All right, I disagree.
But who did he beat? The Giants?
Listen.
All right, thank you, my brother. Because they couldn't beat the Redskins.
That's a playoff team.
Exactly. And now they're gonna face another playoff team.
I don't think the Packers could beat the Commanders.
Yeah, I don't know about. I think the Packers. I think you're underselling the Packers here a little bit, T. Bryce, who you like? Packers, Eagles.
Dog, this is tough, bro. If Jalen Hurts doesn't play, I'm definitely going with the Packers. I think they have the ability to stop the run. One thing I like about the Packers in the defensive ends that they've compiled over the last few drafts, I'm talking about like guys like Rashawn Gary, Lucas Van Ness, those type of defensive ends that are good at rushing the passer but can also set a hell of an edge, right? Saquon Barkley's trying to get outside of those tackles. I mean, he's running the inside game too. But we all know, man, Saquon Barkley is trying to find that sideline. He's trying to get to the edge. He's trying to take it up the field. And if you can set a strong edge and avoid that early, especially early, avoid Saquon breaking a 45-yard tud, 62-yard tud, something like that early. I like the chances, especially without Hurts. Now, if Hurts plays, it's a different game. But we're talking about a top 5 defense all season in the Packers. And we're talking about a top 5 defense without any, one name you point at and say, this is this person's defense, right? Like, you know how when it was the Lions rolling on defense, it was like, this is Aiden Hutchinson's defense, right? When it's certain teams rolling, it's this person's defense. But who are you going to point to and say, this is this person's defense on the Packers? Really, I think he's been injured a little bit.
He's been hurt. He'll be back for this game,
really,
though.
Yeah, but you really can't point. I'm talking like what this defense has done this year. You really can't point to one guy and say it's this person's. Gets all the credit, and that's because it's a great team defense in my opinion. I think with Hurts, the Eagles get it done, especially with Jordan Love, banged up a bit. But I'm also high on the Packers' weapons, bro, and I think that the Eagles secondary has been a little overhyped in my opinion. I guess I get to watch them 2 times a year when they play my team, so maybe that's what I'm judging that off of. But I think the Packers weapons can have success against the Eagles, and I think their running back is someone that should get a little more mention now that we're getting closer to this playoff game. So the running back, although Saquon Barkley definitely wins that matchup when it comes to running back, shit, Jacobs ain't far off, bro. And I think the Packers could have some success. I think it's a very close game. If Hurts doesn't go, give me the Packers. If Hurts goes, give me the Eagles in a field goal game.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bryce, but I'm going a step further because even if Hurts plays, Josh Jacobs is the X factor. That's the secret sauce for the Packers. Even if Jordan Love is a little banged up, I'm sure that Josh Jacobs is going to get a heavy workload regardless. So expect another heavy workload from Jacobs, and I think that'll be the equalizer on our Eagles defense. But let's get to the main event of the Sunday night football games this weekend. The Commanders at the Buccaneers. Bryce, we get our rematch from Week 1. We know Tampa gave the Commanders the work. They handed Jaden his first L, and he never really looked back since. He kind of hit his streak after that, hit his stride after that game. So they're getting a little bit of a different Commanders team, a more well-oiled, more well-polished team. So before I give my take on this game, the Bucs are favored by 3. They are the home team, and the over/under is set at 50.5. G, man, who do you like in this one?
You on mute, big dog?
I said, damn, no defense in this game? What the fuck? 50 points. Jeez, that's a lot. Ugh. Damn. I mean, for me, it's going to come down to who has the ball. Pause. Who has the football on the last 2 minutes and wins this game. Because if Jaden Daniels showed you anything, he likes to come out and play once there's only 5 minutes left in a fucking football game. For some odd reason, those are his best times. He liked 2-minute drills. The boy is nice, but damn.
Say it with your chest, G. It's okay.
I'm gonna say the Bucs, man. Just because Bucky Irvin won me a chip too. I'm gonna say my son Bucky out here with his fantasy chip, and then give me Mike Evans. I know he's sad about last week in that lackluster performance. Even those 85 yards, they didn't look too clean, but fuck it. Shout outs to him for 11 consistent. That's Mr. Reliable right there. If there's anything you know about Mike Evans, he is Mr. Reliable. Give me the Bucs, but the Bucs by 1 point. This should be a pick'em's games. I don't see this. I see the Redskins covering the 3 points, but the Bucs only win by 1 point.
All right. T, who you like in this one?
Bucs. This is a matchup nightmare. I would have picked the Commanders against anybody except the Bucs and the Rams. Actually, any team has multiple receiving targets and a quarterback. Just again, it's one of those strength versus weakness type situations, and just that Commander secondary just can't cover. I mean, it's not for lack of trying or want. They can't cover. Maybe Commanders can win a shootout. I think if they do win, that's how it's going to have to happen. But yeah, if both teams play to their best ability, I think Tampa Bay drops 40-something and wins this game. Like I think this spread goes over 50.
Yeah, I forgot what the total score was the first game, but I believe it was over 50 as well. It was like 30-something to 20-something.
Who won that?
But the Buccaneers. That was Jaden's first game as a pro.
The first game was Washington 20, Bucks 37.
Also, the Commanders didn't have Marshawn Lattimore at the time, who is tracking to play. Marshawn Lattimore, you might not know who he is, but trust and believe Mike Evans does. As Bryce knows, this is Peter Griffin versus Big Chicken Day coming up here this Sunday. So
what was on the field? He had multiple pass interference calls. He didn't play that well.
And multiple terrible, garbage, bullshit ass pass interference calls. Don't just try to throw that in the conversation. Like, this is why we need a producer with the replay so we can show how egregious those PI calls were. And don't even get me started, T, because we could break down the whole film of that game. That game wasn't some game where Marshawn Lattimore was getting cooked or something. But that's a story for another day. That's a story for another day.
Listen, man, he's gonna get cooked this week. Y'all started the season with the Bucks. The first shall be the last. It's over.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Hang it up. It's been good. Y'all done got far enough. Listen, man, it's been good. It's been good. Y'all got y'all show. You know what I'm saying? You pulled a Joy Taylor. You went a little further than you were supposed to, but you're not gonna own the company. You ain't good all the way to the top. Be happy with what y'all got, man. Y'all got a playoff game. When the last time y'all had a playoff game? Taylor Heineke?
Yeah, 2020. Go ahead, jump in here, Bryce.
Yeah. Let's just think about what T said for a second. His main point was that if both teams play to the best of their abilities, the Bucks blow the Commanders out. That to me is an insane statement, bro. Because if both teams play to the best of their ability, you know what that means, T? That means Jaden just gave you 275 through the air and 102 on the ground. You're not beating that, bro. You're not beating that. I don't care what team you are. If both teams play
what does that mean for Baker?
Bro, I don't give a damn. That's my point. If my quarterback's giving me 100 yards on the ground, Baker couldn't have been on the field all that long. He couldn't have been there that much. So my quarterback plays to the best of his abilities, right? Because he has an X factor that Baker doesn't possess, which is legs. Oh, it's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a very long day. Let's think back to that first game. I think Rome, you gave some context to it. It was Jayden Daniels' first game as a pro, right? And he was playing one of the trickier defensive coordinators in the history of the National Football League, and Todd Bowles. One of the highest blitz percentages as a defensive coordinator in the history of the game. And that was just something that Jaden was not yet ready for. If we're going to sit here and say that Jaden is the same quarterback that he was week 1 to now, we would be kidding ourselves, right? But guess who is nowhere near the same team that they were week 1 through 6 when people were crowning them? People on this very show were crowning them. The Bucks. The Bucks are not that team they were week 1 through 5, bro. They're nowhere near that. They've been decimated by injury. They've lost big pieces on the defensive side, including Dante Whitner Jr., huge piece. Big pieces on the offensive side, including Chris Godwin, huge piece. But I'm supposed to think that they're the same team that they were early in the season, so they're just going to blow the Commanders out, who are a totally different team than they were early in the season. Come on, we gotta add a little context to it. I think if we look at it in a vacuum and say, like, who some of these players are over their career arcs, like we look at a Mike Evans, we look at a Baker Mayfield, then I get it. But we have to judge these teams on where they are right now. And in my opinion, the Commanders are in a much better space than the Bucks are as a team. Somebody brought it up. I think it was G, and I think it was a great point. T brought up the passing offense. Everyone that watches the Commanders knows we're a top, like it or not, we're a top passing defense, bro. We are a top passing defense. Teams don't come in and throw for crazy yards on us. That's just not what happens. What does happen is we get the ball ran on us consistently. We cannot stop the run to save our lives. So in this game, the biggest X factor, in my opinion, is Bucky Irvin. It's going to come down to can the Commanders stop Bucky Irvin? I mentioned that the Bucs are a totally different team now than they were week one. The one thing they have going for them that they didn't have in week one is Bucky Irvin is now the starter, right? They rolled out in the season with Rachaad White, who's a good player, but he's not Bucky, man. Bucky Irvin worries me. When you got a player like that who's as fast as Bucky Irvin is, but is as powerful, man, that's a game changer, bro. I honestly think he's a top 5 back in the league right now from my eye test. And that worries me. That worries me. So if we can contain Bucky Irvin, I think the Skins are able to get the win. But if Bucky runs crazy, I think it's a Bucs victory. So that's really the player that I'm going to be watching the closest.
Yeah, that's a very good take, man. Bucky Irvin could very well break the whole game open. If the Commanders can't stop Bucky Irvin, they will not win this game. Barring some magic from Jaden Daniels, which is something we've seen all season long. Is magic from Jaden Daniels, but just a quick little, Jaden's a young guy in the league, so outside of division games, he hasn't really played anybody twice. He didn't really get to finish the game against the Cowboys, so I'm not really going to count that game. But looking at his second time playing teams, which would be the Giants, his second game against the Giants, over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Second game against the Eagles, over 250, 5 touchdowns. So, Jaden's track record, which is a very small sample size of playing teams a second time is very high right now. So I feel very confident and very, very good about the Commanders going in to play the Buccaneers in Tampa yet again against Todd Bowles, who, to Bryce's point, the Buccaneers have fallen off. They've fallen off. And honestly, without the Commanders' help, might not even be in the playoffs. So, the Buccaneers, I think, are the team with a lot to prove here. If you know anything about how spreads work in football, typically the home team gets spotted 3 points just for home field advantage. So really, it's a pick 'em in a lot of people's eyes. So I would not be surprised if the Commanders pull off their first playoff victory since 2005, which ironically was also against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Full circle moment.
What we betting?
G, shut up. You owe me a dub already, man.
Yeah, G, didn't we bet every season that the Giants are gonna have a better season than all this? Like, where's my Venmo, bro? Where's my Venmo?
I'm gonna have to get your money in blood.
Anyway, man.
Guns up, chitty, bang, bang.
Last game before we get out of here, the Monday night game, final Monday night game of the season, Vikings at the Rams. Sam Darnold just looked awful against the Lions this past Sunday night. I know we got some Sam Darnold believers here. I'm kind of one of them, but I think the book is out on how to beat Sam Darnold. But the Rams didn't even play their starters last week, so does that make you rusty? Stop your momentum? This one's a true pick 'em. It's set at 1.5. And the over-under is 47.5. T, who do you like, Vikings, Rams?
Easy win for the Vikings. You think Justin Jefferson gets shut down again? Easy win, bro. He got shut down and could start talking trash. He said, it's like coming to Chick-fil-A on a Sunday, we not open. Like, bro was talking crazy. So you think Justin Jefferson be hyped up? I don't think Darnold has 2 bad games in a row. That was a division game. I told you on Twitter, don't let a division game fool you. That Vikings team is better than they played against. And also, that Detroit team is switched into a new gear with Gibbs only. So Vikings kind of ran into a buzzsaw. I think I don't even think this is a game, bro. The NFC West is having a down year. The Rams are not that good. Give me the Vikings by a touchdown.
Okay. G, who you like, Vikings or Rams?
Give me the Vikings.
Okay, you like Minnesota, just straight like that? No, you're not giving the Rams a puncher's chance? All right, Bryce, who you like?
Bruh, I told you it was 2 games I circled on this schedule, man. On this playoff schedule is possible upsets. I've been telling y'all for weeks, bro, dating back, since the middle of the season, bro. The team nobody wants to see right now is the Los Angeles Rams, bro. Nobody wants to see that team, dog. They dangerous. They got one of the best running backs in the league right now in Kyren Williams. two of the best receivers in the league in Kupp and Puka Nacua, and they got a quarterback who's woken up over the last 9-10 weeks of the season. Matt Stafford's been the guy, much more similar to the guy that was in the Super Bowl than the guy that we saw the first couple weeks of this year. Yeah, and based off what I've seen from the Vikings recently, I'm not liking it, bro. Rome, I thought it was funny when you said we've got some Sam Darnold believers on the team here. You the main Sam Darnold believer. I'm like, this guy, man, this guy. But Sam Darnold, we know what Sam Darnold is, right? You can get good Sam or you can get bad Sam. And bad Sam is very panicky. Bad Sam throws balls up for grabs. And bad Sam misses the easiest reads. I mean, he missed Justin Jefferson a few times, Jordan Addison and Jefferson a few times on some simple crosses. I'm like, damn, what is he even looking at? With that said, I think the Rams get this game. And the way that you guys think the Vikings win it somewhat easily, I think we're going to look back at this game and be like, how did we not know that the Rams are going to win this easily? Let's not forget, these two teams have played before this season. Anyone care to guess who won?
Lions.
The hell are you talking?
Oh, the Vikings. I mean, the Rams. Wow.
There you go. You got there, buddy. You just had to list all 32 teams, but you got there. Yes, the Rams. The Rams.
I thought we were talking about the Lions and the Vikings real quick.
Lions, right. I thought you were going to say Bears next.
The whole division.
You're just going to name all the animals. So all the animals. But yeah, the Rams got that win, bro. And it was pretty convincing. So like, let's not act like they're just coming in with a puncher's chance. Like, nah, bro, they can beat this team. They beat them before, and I expect them to beat them again. Give me the Rams in a close game, 3-4 point win. I just don't think the Vikings got enough firepower at quarterback. This is going to be the exact type of game where we see why a guy like McVay decided I got to trade Jared Goff for Matt Stafford. Right? The Vikings are going to come to this moment too, where they're going to realize, we got to get off this Darnold train.
Nah, I actually agree with you, Bryce. I am a Sam Darnold guy. I'm one of the believers, one of the few, and I'm honestly not a Matthew Stafford believer historically on this show. But I do like the Rams in this game. Not necessarily because of Matthew Stafford. I just think the Rams have been heavily slept on this whole season. You made excellent points about they got a slept on running back, and I think those two receivers are super slept on, especially when they're both on the field at the same time. It's almost impossible to cover the guys like that can both run those kind of routes simultaneously. They'll pick you apart in man, they'll pick you apart in zone. So you really got to try to get to Stafford, which is tough to do because he's got a quick release. So I like the Rams in this one, man. And I think the Vikings overachievers this year. Way back in the beginning of the season, I said they might be a 4-win team. Obviously, they way overshot that. I think now that it's getting down to the playoffs, to crunch time, to pressure, I think Sam Darnold's going to press a little bit too much, man. I think, he's not really ready for this moment, in my opinion. Maybe he proves me wrong. I highly doubt it. I don't think that last week was just a division game for him falling apart. I think it had more so to do with the moment, more so to do with if you win this game, then you really are the best. It's not a fluke. It's not just no lucky 14-win season. Now, when we look back on this, you fell to the 5th seed, you get bounced out in the first round, and it kind of looks like the Vikings don't need to sign Sam Darnold back. Maybe he is just going to back up JJ McCarthy. If they won that Lions game and they were the 1st seed, or if they find a way to beat the Rams, that changes the conversation about Sam Darnold. That flips the narrative about Sam Darnold, but it's on his shoulders to flip that narrative, and he's constantly come up small in big moments. So I got to go with the Rams.
Nah, that's a good point, man. And one more thing too that worries me about this matchup is the whole Kevin O'Connell situation here, right? Kevin O'Connell hasn't been re-signed, which is strange, bro. I mean, you talk about a guy that's proven he can do it with Kirk Cousins and Sam Darnold. Like, how do you not re-sign this coach? But I also worry from a coaching perspective, does he coach a little differently with his job on the line? You know what I'm saying? Like, does he feel that pressure to where it's like, if I don't win this playoffs, then, maybe I don't get my contract. That's another thing that kind of made me think twice about this game. I'm like, I could see the coach pressing a little bit to the detriment of his team.
No, that's a good point. And if he doesn't, now that I'm thinking he's not resigned, if they lose and they let him go, That coaching carousel will be something interesting. I'm sure we'll get to that down the line. It's already starting to move a little bit. We got some coaches already fired, and AP and Jared Mayo. T, you called that. That's another one of the 2024 NFL predictions. You had spot on. You said Mayo wouldn't last, and here we are at the end of the regular season, and sure enough. But yeah, anything? Go ahead.
I ain't called that one. The ancestors called that one.
Duh.
Speaking to the ancestors on that one. Anything anybody else want to get off before we get out of here tonight?
Fuck Philly. They can eat a bunch of dicks. Fuck you, Nick. And Phillies fans. I hate the Eagles. I can't wait to see you cry on Sunday.
Okay.
Call my phone. Block me. Come and be a dickhead. Yeah, I said it. Fuck Philadelphia.
Hey, look, man, I'll say this. It's good to be back, man. After 2 weeks off, this was a fun show. This was a good show. I think we hitting the ground rolling. We're in playoff mode, unlike the Giants and the 49ers. You know, Gas is in full playoff mode. And you know, next week, divisional round, I'm sure we'll have some more good topics out here. And we'll always keep the culture going too, man. Like, you know, we're never afraid to talk about the Joy Taylors of the world on this
Man,
podcast.
and you better keep that same smile on your face when y'all lose next week. With that hat all backwards and shit. And you better not bring that dusty ass Wizards hat. You better not. You best not. You better keep that ugly ass white hat you got on right there.
Hey, how about this, G? You were asking for a bet. Here's the bet. When the Commanders beat the Bucks and we move on to the divisional round, you pull up with the bag on your head.
I bet. And when y'all lose, you gonna do the same thing. I'm talking about, yo, I need a day off, dog. You know, I'm still working. I can't make it. Fuck out my face.
Hey, well, you know, with the shirt post stuff, how that's going on, I might have a late night. You never know.
Hedging bets. Hedging bets already.
I'm just playing. Hey, man, y'all know how we end every show, man. Sports for the culture.
Fuck
for the
Philly.
Goes for the culture.